Nikki, a few bad results today don't make a winter of earnings, I guess, but we've seen a whole bunch of disappointing forecasts and downgrades across a whole range of sectors early this week. One of them, I guess, is also European telcos. We had a couple more today and on Tuesday.
Yep, that's right. I think the worries there for investors really continue to be dividends. I mean, this started about a year ago, the suggestion that the telcos would have to rein in quite considerably their payouts. Many of them have already done that, but the process is not, unfortunately, completely at an end yet. We've had KPN earlier this week, that's Dutch telco, still promising a reduced payout for next year, but with credit rating agencies hovering over it and nobody really quite believing that that's going to be stuck to. And now we have France Telecom that has cut its likely payouts, or its promise of likely payouts, the minimum level for this year and next, a bit below what the market was hoping for.
And France Telecom, just a quick summary of the top line and profitability. In these
down.
results? Mm-hmm.
I mean, down across the sector. Margins are down, revenues are down. Not hideously, that was pretty much as expected. But it's not looking good. They're in a competitive market. They've got a new aggressive fourth entrant on the mobile side. There's regulatory pressure that's taking quite a chunk out of revenues each quarter. So it's not too cheerful, and the story is rather similar across most of Europe.
And notwithstanding the technical fact of whether a share price should probably go up when you cut a dividend rather than down.
Of course.
But it is looking difficult now for these European telcos, and I guess part of the negative reaction today was looking forward at cash flows for next year. Are there any bright spots at all, or is it uniformly gloomy for next year?
The bright spots tend to come where you have a telco that is quite well diversified outside of Europe. No, I mean, those that are the big telcos that have a very heavy European exposure, they've got investment demands, there are spectrum auctions for 4G coming up, so there's plenty of demand for their money. As I say, they've got this regulatory pressure, bad economic conditions, particularly in certain markets. So that's clamping down on revenues. No, there really isn't anything very good to be said for 2013. I think the big question is whether you really believe there will be a return to growth and strong growth by 2014. Yeah. That's really what you've got to look forward to.
Very important question for all types of companies. And a final question, of course, we're sort of agnostic on whether a company's doing good or bad on Lex, and it's whether it's doing good or badly relative to a price. I mean, is this gloomy outlook priced in for the European telcos?
Quite a lot of it is. France Telecom has an EV of about 4 times 2012 EBITDA. That's pretty much at a low for the company, sort of trough. But quite how quickly people are going to rush in there and drive it any higher is hard to see.
So cheap for a reason, perhaps. Okay, thank you very much, Nikki, for that.